So thank you very much for agreeing to have a chat with us, Muriel. She's, as ever, been a wonderful sport because I asked her to do this on Tuesday, and she agreed because she's always up for helping us out, which is wonderful. So, you have had a lifetime of service, I think, as you would call it, to the church. And you've done so much over the years that I'm not even sure where to start. So I'll hone in on one thing that a lot of people will know that you're a part of, and that's our church's guild.
Yes.
So you didn't start helping with that yesterday, did you? When did you start with the guild?
60 years ago. 60. I
60,
did.
it's 60, 60.
60. Oh, I was only 5 at the time.
Of course you were. Of course you were. Okay, so for anyone who's not had 60 years experience, what is the guild?
Oh, I love the guild. I love going to meetings, and I love meeting all the people and hear all their stories and all the different things that's going on. The guild, I really enjoy the guild.
And I do believe there's tea and cake there as well, isn't there?
Always. They wouldn't come if we didn't supply tea and cake.
Not sure that's true, but it's a definite draw. Okay, so when you're helping out with the guild, what does that involve? What do you get done?
Well, I go down early and get out all the cups and saucers and tea and cakes and whatever. Make sure the tables are all set, everything's ready for everybody coming in.
A warm welcome, that's very, very important, remember.
Very, very important.
And that warm welcome is extended to people who aren't in the guild, people in the community. Yeah. So you have lots of events like daffodil teas and things like that. So
yes.
What goes into making them happen?
Oh, lots and lots of things. You go down about 2 hours before it. People don't realise. Put out all the tables and set them all, and it's hard work. But we have a team. You always help. Margaret Curry always helps. In fact, my son and daughter help. We really don't have enough people now in the guild, and those that are in are getting older, not so able. So we need other people. We would love people to join the guild. So hopefully once we're able to, if we ever get back to going back to, surely
yes. One day, you'll be the face of the recruitment campaign.
Definitely.
So
I'll go out with my placards.
I can picture it already, Muriel. So that's what goes into creating these events. Why do you bother? What's the benefit for the community of putting on something like the daffodil tea?
Well, you meet people, other people, meet other people, and have a lovely chat. And it might be people that live alone, don't have anybody to speak to. And when they come down, they have a lovely cup of tea and cake and a nice chat with their friends.
Lovely.
And it's very important.
It is very important. People underestimate the value of connection, don't they?
That's right.
And so part of the reason why you do these things, it's also to fundraise, isn't it, for various things. But a large chunk of your funding goes to the guild projects.
Yes.
And you must have seen, lots of guild projects come and go over the years. Can you tell us a little bit about the sorts of things that you've learned?
Well, to meet people, and there's the BB, and there's all sorts of things that we help. And I always believe that they appreciate the help they get. They always let us know that they do appreciate the help. So it's worthwhile, isn't it?
It's very worthwhile. Are there any projects that stick out in your mind from over your 60 years?
There's so many. I don't know if I can be here till noon tomorrow.
Okay, well maybe we'll curtail that then. Okay, so if that's honing in on one particular thing, but if we zoom out, you've done all sorts of other things to help keep the church running over the years. Just kind of more generally, what kind of things have you done?
So many, I can't remember them all. You name it, I've done it. I don't think there's anything I haven't done.
I can believe that. You're a wonderful sport at chipping in with whatever's needed.
Whatever, that's true. Whatever's, and there is lots of things needed all the time, especially in Maryhill community, isn't there?
That is indeed.
In the community.
And have you enjoyed doing all these things, or is it a bit of a chore?
No chore. Always enjoyed doing it. Always enjoyed it.
Yeah, you have a wonderful spirit that you bring to everything that you do, Muriel. Let's say.
I'll not get in this house today for all the sailors I've got.
But a lot of those things, I'm sure that everything that you've tried, a lot of them will have been behind the scenes, so people might not be aware that the effort that was going into things. And something else.
People don't realise how much you do. Everybody walks in and thinks it's all done.
Because you've done it so efficiently, Muriel, that's why. But something else that you've done that some people won't know that you've done, but other people it's had a big impact on their lives, is your ministry of visiting people.
Yes, I love that.
So what got you started doing that?
I don't know. I just did it. I just thought it be done.
Need it done. What better reason?
Yes.
So how would you choose? All of Maryhill, how would you choose who to visit?
How would I choose? You always see somebody needing a visit. There's always somebody. And I realise now myself that I'm housebound. The people used to say to me, oh, it means so much. And Cedric and I would always say, oh, it's nothing, taking a bit of chicken or meat soup. But I realise now how much it means to you, people bringing you things and helping you. It does. So if anybody out there doesn't know what to do, tell them to look out. They'll always find somebody to visit. Is that okay?
But perfect. Yes, I'm sure it's a good message to get out there. And so you, up until very recently, when you were forced to stop, you were still visiting a lot of people. So how many people do you think you visited in a week?
Oh, I forget. There's so many. So many. That's true. There's so many.
I can believe it. I think previously you've mentioned to me it could have been as much as 16 people got around.
I did. How I visited them all. I look back now and I think, how did I manage that? But I did.
It's a very good question. I have no idea how you managed it. And it wasn't just visiting. You'd quite often take food and
I would always
cards and things to people.
Yes, yeah, always. You never went without a packet of biscuits.
Can't imagine it.
Or a soup, something, chicken or something. Yeah. People appreciated it.
I'm sure they did. And to be so busy visiting so many people, you must have seen a great value in it. Why do you think it was so important for these people to have you come round?
Well, when I did, they really appreciated me, and I really thought, well, I'm going to do this. Everybody appreciates it. So it's something I do without thinking, to tell you the truth.
Just a kind of gut reaction for you. But did you get something from it?
Yes, always. There's always a two-way, always.
That's true. It's very true. So that's at one end of the scale. You've spent a lot of time visiting older people in their homes. Back at the other end of the scale.
Yes.
What about your work with young children and Sunday school and that sort of thing?
Well, I loved the Sunday school. I loved helping in the Sunday school. I really did.
What would you do with them?
I just taught them. You know,
Just taught. They make it sound so simple. Working with children isn't that easy.
no, you always had to prepare. I always prepared myself, whatever I was going to say. Because if you read things to children, they just kind of sit back and don't listen. But if you speak to them, know what you're talking about, they listen and understand, I think.
Well, you have the experience to tell us from. How long do you think did you help with the Sunday school for?
Years and years and years. I did.
And how broad an age range were you working with?
The children, all ages, really.
All in together, or do you mean that you've worked with them all at different times?
Working with them all at different times over the years. You know.
Did you find one age group easier to work with or more rewarding to work with?
I think that the younger children were more rewarding, but really every day. And I enjoyed doing it with them all ages.
Yeah, that's good.
I hope they enjoyed it with me.
I'm sure they did with you. But that's a very important thing when you're working with children. If you're not passionate, children know it, don't they?
Of course they do. The children sense everything, always, always.
So I think volunteering in a way is a fairly sort of modern term. Would you say all these things that you've done through your life, would you call them volunteering, or how would you see them?
No, I would just say I did it without thinking.
It's just how it is.
Just how, well, we were brought up like that. Always help the other people more than yourself. And it just automatically fits in with you. You do it without thinking. You
make it sound very, very, very natural and very simple, but I'm sure it's a lifetime practice that you've.
Yes, it is really. It's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of work. It really is. I enjoy it.
And do you think? And do you think you passed that? Did you pass that on to your children as a motto?
Yes, definitely. And I hope they visit people too. Hopefully.
We can quiz them on it later.
I'm sure definitely Beatty does. I'm sure she does, and I'm sure they'll do. David, they'll do. Definitely.
Yeah. And what's motivated you to keep going through, all these years? What?
I just keep motivated. I just seem to be motivated without thinking. I just feel motivated to do it.
You want to get out there, help people.
That's right. Always. I feel I'm helping. I feel I'm doing something that's all right, good,
Yeah. And so as someone who's given so much of their life to the church, and I think that gives you a better understanding than most of the church's place in the community.
Yes.
It's a difficult time right now for a lot of people.
Yes.
How best do you think the church should be supporting people at this time?
Well, I think the Zoom and all now that if we can now and again go to church, I think that means everybody feels it very meaningful to be in church. I mean, we know it's only a building, we all know that, but there's something about being in church, seeing all your friends, and we used to have a nice chat afterwards, cup of tea and chat.
Tea and a chat, of course. So what would you say to anyone who's we would say considering volunteering, but just for in terms of considering following in your footsteps, what would you say to them?
I would say do it, and once you do it, you'll see how much you enjoy doing it, and you'll keep doing it, I think.
Wonderful, thank you. You summed it up beautifully.
Footfalls echo in the memory, down the passage which we did not take, towards the door we never opened, into the rose garden, my words echo thus in your mind.